एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजम् प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये।
एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्।
Here I am extremely happy to welcome everyone, all the kids for the Bharat Heritage Yatra. You know what Yatra means? Journey. Yeah, I like that word journey. It's just not a tour, but it's a journey. We are beginning the journey of our Bharat heritage. So today the special is the Ganesha Chaturthi. We are here to talk about our Ganesha, listen to some stories, listen to some of the Sanatana Dharma, our Hinduism. The religion that we follow is also called Sanatana Dharma. It is the way of living. It's not a religion, but it's a way of life. So today we are here to experience that Sanatana Dharma, our Bharat heritage, through this temple tour of Mahaganapati Temple of Arizona. I would like to thank the temple authorities and Gayatri Akka for making this possible. We are going to go and visit the Ganesha under the peepal tree, and we are going to share some of the interesting traditions that we used to do when we were kids and what we saw growing up when we were kids. And we are going to talk about the significance of wearing a bindi or a kumkum and also vibhuti, because that is our identity. We all need to wear our identity whenever we are at home and also we step out of our home. So we are going to talk about that, and also we are going to talk about the tour of the temple itself. So Gayatri Akka, you all know Gayatri Akka, auntie, so she is going to take us through the temple tour about the rich architecture of the temple, and after that we are going to have some yummy snack, And yeah, we are going to have some yummy snack, and then we are going to go to the Make My Ganesha stall, where we are going to see how the Ganesha is being made with the mud, and there is a story behind it. We will explain it there. As we are getting inside the temple, we are going to see an internal tour of the temple. So Shankar uncle is going to take you all through the internal temple tour, explaining all the shrines and their significance. And we are going to see all the yummy delicacies which are very much favorite for Ganesha. We are going to show them, and we are going to have a arati and a final darshan. And we are going to also have a small talk on the history of our Bharat, and also to go and explore into that path of research, because many things are a myth, and we are going to talk about some of the dating of the Ramayana, when did it happen, and as latest as vaccinations, who invented the vaccinations. We all know, if you go to Wikipedia, we all know who invented vaccination, but let's find out what the truth is. So we have some guest speakers come and talk as well. So I hope, this will all be very exciting for all of you. The main purpose of the Bharat Heritage Organization is to protect, preserve and propagate our Sanatana Dharma, because this is the need of the hour, and you all are the future generation who are the torch bearers of our Sanatana Dharma.
So Ganesha was asked to write the Mahabharata from, I think, Vedavyasa. And he made some deal with him, and his quill broke, Ganesha's quill broke, so he broke off his tusk and started writing.
So yes, because Ganesha is the epitome of wisdom. So you all might have heard about the term intelligent. Intelligent is one aspect, having the wisdom is another aspect. Wisdom is also, in these days you call it like presence of mind. So he just broke the tusk, and then he started writing with that, and that's how he's called Eka Danta. Eka means one in Sanskrit, and Danta means the tusk. Okay, so that's what you see here. One is having one side is the full tusk, and other side is the half the tusk. So he has only one full tusk, so Eka Danta. And the half in the hand, exactly. The other hand he is using it to write the Mahabharata. Okay, so is that interesting? Yeah. So, yes.
I have one more question. Why does it look like he has a Sudarshana Chakra?
Yeah, that's also a very interesting question. Why does he have? Does anybody know?
Because I thought that was Vishnu's thing.
Yeah, it's a Vishnu. Why does he have Sudarshana Chakra?
And something.
And Shankar. So, who are parents of Ganesha?
Parvati and Parvati.
Parvati, Shiva and Parvati. Okay, so Parvati's brother
Is
is Vishnu.
And Vishnu, he gave
Yeah.
darshan.
So, and for Vishnu, most favorite kid of Vishnu, although it's not his own kid, it is Ganesha. That's why what happened is, there is one shlokam called in Tamil, Hari means Vishnu, Thiru means Lakshmi. So it's the first line of that shlokam itself is Hari Thiru Marugane Vigna Vinayaka. Means Hari Thirus, they don't even tell it's Shiva Parvati's son. They first address Ganesha as Hari Thiru Marugan. Marugan means not Magan, but the other son, like other son. So it's called a Marugan. So that is why Vishnu has given his the Shankha and Chakram to Ganesha, and that's what he is holding it here.
Did he duplicate it? Because then how did he still have it?
Well, technically it's a dog, right? So
It is so Hinduism is all a symbolic form. When he holds it, it doesn't mean don't treat it like one object that he gave. Okay, it is the energy that he passed on. Okay, and you can ask then whether Vishnu has less energy than because he gave it. No, it's like if you lit a lamp, you use one lamp to lit another lamp, right? Does the first lamp, does it lose its illuminance?
no.
So that is how everything. That's how the cosmic universe is. Okay, so that's the main, the energy is being passed on. So you all have to understand that we are all like a bundle of energies. We have the energy around us. Okay, and we all carry that energy forward. Energy can be transmitted, right? In physics, you would have learned. So that is what we are going to explore as we are seeing. So we'll all now make our way to the people tree Ganesha, the small Ganesha. But one thing I wanted to tell is this Ganesha, we are having like a Vakratunda Mahakaya. Means what it is? Vakratunda. When you see Ganesha, what do you see? The first thing that comes to your mind?
Elephant. Yeah.
Elephant. Elephant means huge, right? Something beyond you. Something that you have to always look up, right? You cannot look down like this. Look up, right? So that is, so Vakratunda Mahakaya means his body is so vast. You know, when the moment you see, you become small. So when you become small, it's like, oh my God, there is somebody more powerful than you. Okay? So your ego gets shattered. Not only your ego, your fear gets shattered. Right? So that's why we first and foremost pray to that energy. We talked about the energy, right? So we pray to that energy who at just the sight of him, right, will make us feel more humble. So before doing anything, right, we have to be humble first, right? So we are going to, yes.
Did Ganesh get a vardhan that like he would be first prayed to in a puja?
He's called Adi Bhagavan. Adi Bhagavan means the first source of energy. Okay, so first source of energy, you pray to Ganesha. He is like the CEO, right? When a CEO or your principal, school principal enters the school, you all will have some sort of obedience and everything, right? So when he comes and when he is there, rest everybody like Koti Surya Samaprabha, the thousands of suns and moons pray to Ganesha. That is the power of Ganesha. He is there in a city, and we are very, very fortunate to have one Mahaganapati temple in our city. He oversees all the activities that is happening in the city. We all are he kind of hurts all of us, all the energies of this Arizona, not only Arizona, USA, everybody, right, the globally, he hurts all of us. Okay, and he brings, and then other thing is the trunk, right? The trunk, what the trunk shows you, everybody has like, 2 hands and 2 legs, but the trunk is the possibility of that they can do anything is possible. Oh, I have this extra one, let me use that. He comes and he embraces everybody. Okay, that is the reason they have a huge trunk. So anytime you see Ganesha, all these qualities, like long ears, he listens to all, everybody's, even a small person somewhere, some in corner of the world has a sorrow. He has the ear, he has the energy to understand, to listen. Okay, and then he will, it could be a big sorrow, right? But because of that wisdom, what he does, he just gets like, like as if a small stone is there, you just blow it and then that stone flies away. Like that, all the obstacles will just vanish. That is why anything you start, you first start with that Adi Bhagavan, Mudatre Ulagdu. So the Adi Bhagavan is the primordial source of energy is Ganesha. Any custom, and he is not only Indian God, he is a universal God because he is the Adi Bhagavan. Whether you go to Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, anywhere you see Ganesha. Okay, so with that being said, I want to take you all to the Arasa Maratadi Ganesha, the people tree Ganesha. There's one small beautiful Ganesha there. So we'll do there.
मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकं मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं गताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं
Indian tradition, this is Karya Siddhi Ganapati. What they say and what they believe is Karya Siddhi means what? Success in the endeavor that you are actually making. So the very first god, as you were explained, so we actually pray to Karya Siddhi Ganapati, whether be it our personal endeavor or any big event that is actually coming up in the temple. We first do the puja to Karya Siddhi. Karya means work. Siddhi means it has to actually attain fulfillment. Karya Siddhi Ganapati, he makes things happen. So if you are actually thinking about reaching a goal, the first thing that you have to do is think about Karya Siddhi Ganapati. If you have time, ask your parents to bring you here and go 11 times around this, and then that will actually give you all that focus and energy to actually make that thing successful. This is not something that Mauli uncle is saying. This has been actually been there for thousands of years and people have been successful. Next year, around this shrine, we are going to actually have Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva as well. So this place is going to become more and more energized. And one nice thing, with the exception of these pandemic times, you can actually come here and do your own abhishekam, which you cannot probably do inside the temple, right? Because priests are only allowed here. Here you can actually take that kalash, fill water and do abhishekam by yourself. So next time keep that in your mind. When the temple is all these pandemic and everything is settled, you should actually do abhishekam all by yourself. So hopefully with his blessings, next year we will have more shrines, and this is the only temple that I know of, I might be wrong, in America, which actually has this shrine under the peepal tree. So we are all blessed to have that.
I don't think so.
So Ganesha's two wives are Buddhi and Siddhi.
Oh!
So you have the intellect and you have the wisdom to attain it. So he's married to that. So Karya Siddhi, right? So that's a unique thing.
Yeah, and there is one tradition also that is associated with that. That is the coconut breaking tradition. Two lines about what the coconut breaking is about. Have you all ever seen a coconut breaking?
Yeah.
Everybody have seen. Not for cooking, but in front of a deity.
Yeah.
They have seen that. And do you all know why they are doing it? Or fear that you have in mind. When you break the coconut, the sound of the coconut, the whatever is being trapping you, it just gets, wow, it is now possible. Oh, this is what it is. I know it. Okay. So that kind of a feeling you will get. So that's why before they go for any big thing, they first break the coconut, and that means removal of all obstacles. Whatever you are going to go, it will, you will have it successfully accomplished. Okay, so we are going to experience that, and in India, when somebody breaks a coconut, there will be always lot of kids around, and they will take one piece of the coconut, and that is their treat for the day. So.
And I still do that here.
Yeah.
I also do.
I think
it have been under a eucalyptus tree or any other tree. The reason it's under the peepal tree is because this tree gives out oxygen 24 hours a day. It is not like other trees that give out carbon dioxide at night. The peepal tree, that is why going around the peepal tree is very good for your health. By putting Ganesha under the peepal tree, our ancestors made sure that we would go see if there is a god there, we'll go there and we will start doing pradakshina, and thereby we get the good energy from the tree also. So everything is worship for us.
That's a very beautiful insight.
समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं धरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवक्त्रमक्षरं समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं धरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवक्त्रमक्षरं कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं मानस्करं नमस्कृतं नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् अकिञ्चनातिमार्जनं चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिगर्वचर्वणम् अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनम् चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनम् पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनम् सुरारिगर्वचर्वणम् प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणम् धनञ्जयाविभूषणम् कपालदानवारणम् भजे पुराणवारणम् भजे पुराणवारणम् नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तलीलमन्तराय गन्तरम् नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तलीलमन्तराय गन्तरम् कृतन्तरे निरन्तरम् वसन्तमेव योगिनां तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततं कृतन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनां तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम्.
So, like completely you're acknowledging the fact and bowing down to the water, and then you're asking the water to cleanse everything. Nevedyam of aval, pori and kadalai.
What?
So aval, pori and kadalai, which is puffed rice, jaggery, and then roasted dal gram. So this is like, so Ganesha is like the simplest, like, you know, energy that there is. So to offer to Ganesha, so Ganesha is made basically out of mud. So wherever you are, like, you know, you can take a piece of mud and make him into Ganesha. So even the prasadam for Ganesha is going to be very simple. So to make this, we don't need any stove or any, like, you know, preparation or any work, right? We just need three small ingredients, that's it. And this is one of his favorite foods to eat. So we're just going to do Nevedyam for the Ganesha, and then you're going to have this snack. Okay?
நிலம் நீர் வெளி நெருப்பு வானம் அனைத்துக்கும் காரணனே நிலம் நீர் வெளி நெருப்பு வானம் அனைத்துக்கும் காரணனே என்றும் நலம் தரும் நாயகனே நவசக்தி விநாயகனே என்றும் நலம் தரும் நாயகனே முகன் உனது உடன் பிறப்பு காவலை தருவது நின் பொறுப்பு நின் கழலடி தானே என் காப்பு காவலை தருவது நின் பொறுப்பு நின் கழலடி தானே என் காப்பு நலம் தரும் நாயகனே நவசக்தி விநாயகனே என்றும் நலம் தரும் நாயகனே வளம் தர 5 கரம் கொண்டாய் எம்மை வாழ்த்தியே வேண்டும் வாரம் தந்தாய் வளம் தர 5 கரம் கொண்டாய் எம்மை வாழ்த்தியே வேண்டும் வாரம் தந்தாய் கலை நீரை வடிவாய் தந்தாய் கலை நீரை வடிவாய் உருவெடுத்தாய் எம் கவலைகள் நீக்கிட கை கொடுத்தாய் கலை நீரை வடிவாய் உருவெடுத்தாய் எம் கவலைகள் நீக்கிட கை கொடுத்தாய் நலம் தரும் நாயகனே நவசக்தி விநாயகனே என்றும் நலம் தரும் நாயகனே
తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై ఆశీర్వదించు ఆ చదువులమ్మ తోడై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై నీ వెలుగు పంచు మా తెలివిలోన కొలువై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై సాసని సగ సగమ మామ గమ పమ మ పని పాప మ పని స సాని సగ సని సని పని పమ పమ గమ గ సాసని సగ సగమ మామ గమ పమ మ పని పాప మ పని స సాని చెవులారా వింటూనే ఎంత పాఠమైనా ఈజీగా తలకెక్కే ఐక్యూ నువ్వు కనులారా చదివింది ఒకసారే అయినా కల్లోను మరిచిపోని మెమరీ నువ్వు చదివిన ప్రశ్నలని పరీక్షలు రానివ్వు చదవనిదేదైనా చాయిస్ లో పోనివ్వు ఒక్కొక్క దండానికి ఒక్కో మార్కు పన్నివ్వు ఏ టెన్షన్ దరికి రాని ఏకాగ్రత నాకివ్వు ఆన్సర్ షీటు పైన ఆగిపోని పెన్నివ్వు తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై ఆశీర్వదించు ఆ చదువులమ్మ తోడై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై తల స్నానం చెయ్యకుండా పూజించానంటూ నా వైపు కోపంగా చూస్తే ఒట్టు షాంపూతో పాటే చదివింది తుర్రుమంటూ వాష్ అయిపోతుందని నా సెంటిమెంటు
Agama means tradition. So, in order to actually build a home, you follow some kind of science. You do not actually build it all by yourself. You call an architect, you call a structural engineer, you call a mason, all these things put together, electrical engineers, etc. Now, this all actually is based on some kind of a rule book or actually is, some kind of a grammar or a dictionary. For building temples, there should be some kind of a architecture or a rule book. That rule book is actually called the Agamic Guideline Rule Book. This temple is completely built on Agamic traditions. Every inch of carving that you actually see inside, especially when you go inside, take a look at the difference between what is around Ganpati shrine, the carvings, and what is actually around the Balaji and the Shiva shrine. Each of them have its own meanings in order to actually preserve the energy inside that Garbhagraha. So Agamic means traditional. This is the way temples in India were built thousands of years ago, and they still actually last forever. So Agamic temples is actually is something that will be cherished for generations to come. And the puja, doing the puja is also done in an Agamic way. That is, we follow rules and regulations on how to do puja. That is good.
Right? That is something for us to be really, really proud about our heritage because of the advancement in science.
Look at as you're walking, just look at the starting, how it is, and the finished product, right? Imagine the construction marvel. They have to actually do these decorations continuously. So see from that end of the building all the way here, each and every intricate design. They, and 5 or 6 people, 2 people stand here, mix all these cement and concrete and everything, and there is a pulley which actually lifts up. Somebody stands on top, lifts that thing, gives it there. Before that concrete actually dries out, they have to actually plaster the wall and do the design work quickly. So there are not just...
ఆశీర్వదించు ఆ చదువులమ్మ తోడై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై తిరుగణనాథ దిద్దిద్దిత్తై
ഗഗനമാനസം എൻ്റെ ആത്മമന്ത്രണം കരുണസാഗരം ഗണനാഥ സംഗമം ഗിരിജനന്ദനം ഗോപായനപ്രദം ഗജമുഖാനനം എന്നും.
Any questions? Yeah.
You guys make the part and then like put it on the copper wire thing?
The copper wire which first start பண்றோம் இல்லையா அந்த பேக் போன். ஆமா. பார்ட்டா பண்ணிட்டு அத ஒட்டுவீங்களா? Just using the hand with the brick and concrete everything. He just actually align shape brings the shape up.
copper wire. So it's
Conduct. Electricity.
Complete and puja is done. It is already energized. So that is the electricity that actually runs inside.
Rishi?
So did they also make like the big gods, some of them inside the temple?
Those were also made by Shilpis, not our Shilpis, but
But how about like the smaller ones, even the smaller?
Oh yeah. Similar ones inside the temple were made by Shanmuganathan, Tandamani uncle, etc.
But how much time did the big ones take?
Depends on the size, because we cannot actually bring all these heavy granite things into America. They are actually very prominent in India. Those skilled people who do Ganesha Vigraha and all those people are India. We make them in India and we actually ship.
it is made out of many alloys. Gold is a part of it.
Yeah.
And the beauty is the kalasams on the top, they are filled with grains and gemstones. Can anybody guess why they were filled with grains? Let's see. You've answered a lot of questions. You're going to find somebody. Tell me.
സംഗമം ഗിരിജനന്ദനം ഗോപായനപ്രദം ഗജമുഖാനനം എന്നും സർവമംഗളം. ഗണസുധാകര ഗിരിസുധപ്രിയ അക്ഷയാശയ വിഘ്നനാശക ഗണസുധാകര ഗിരിസുധപ്രിയ അക്ഷയാശയ വിഘ്നനാശക.
Parvati, like how we say, like every 12 years, the energy of the temple need to be re-sanctified, right? Similarly, the God's energy also need to be re-sanctified, okay? So this was the time when Parvati's energy, she wanted to re-sanctify that energy, she revived that energy. So what she did was, she tried to take away some of the layers of, the oxidization, if you would call it, right? From her forehead, from her arms, from her legs, the turmeric. But when you take the turmeric, right, what came with it are the dead cells from her skin, okay? And then the turmeric and the dead cells of Parvati, the skin cells, she got it here and she started making small, like how you all is going to make the clay Ganesha, right? Small mold. Then she formed the arms, the fingers, and then she realized that, oh, this is very nice dog, exactly like how I wanted, but he's not alive. There's no life to it, right? Then what she did, she took the prana pratishtha you heard just now from the in the temple, right? These are all real because transfer of energy. She transferred her energy, her breath to the Ganesha, and then immediately he opened eyes. Okay? And then
Prana means breath. Pratishtha means
installing the breath, giving the life. Okay? So it is all really like if you think about cloning, right? If you are all learning about cloning is a process where you can create a new plant from the cells. You all have learned about transplantation, right? But in those days itself, these stories tell us that these transplantations are possible. You can do some transplantation of the entire head, and then what happened was again, now the first time Parvati gave life, right? Then the second time Shiva is giving the life now. So breath, prana pratishtha he is doing to Ganesha. So that is why he is the son of both Shiva and Parvati together. Both of them have installed life onto the Ganesha to form what it is now. Okay. So after that, the Ganesha started, the formation of Ganesha happened, and then he bowed down to Shiva and Parvati, and then the story of Ganesha as everything gone. Okay, so
സംഗമം ഗിരിജനന്ദനം ഗോപായനപ്രദം ഗജമുഖാനനം എന്നും സർവമംഗളം ഗണസുധാകരാ ഗിരിസുതപ്രിയാ അക്ഷയാശ്രയാ വിഘ്നനാശകാ ഗണസുധാകരാ ഗിരിസുതപ്രിയാ അക്ഷയാശ്രയാ വിഘ്നനാശകാ
So whenever you want to protect something, right, you will put it in the middle of like the entire armies. Right? Like that in the entire Veda, the midpoint of the Veda is this 5 syllables. Namah Shivaya. Okay, for Narayana is Ashtakshara, where there is Om. Om Namo Narayanaya. So Shiva by himself is inert. Shiva cannot create. What does Shiva need to create? Shakti. Shakti is a person who needs to combine with Shiva to create. Shiva is the masculine energy, Shakti is the feminine energy. So we now play to Shiva and move to Parvati. So Kasi Vishalakshi. So if you know the banks of Varanasi in India, which is a very religious place in India, the Shiva there is known as Vishwanatha, Kasi Vishwanatha, and we have the Kasi Vishalakshi. So what is the role of Parvati? Ramya aunty was telling, right? Parvati is the universal mother. Universal mother. Parvati can assume a form of Durga. What does Durga mean? Durga means difficult passages. So whenever you are going through difficult passage in your life, Durga will come to the rescue and navigate you through the rough seas. It may be a small issue at school, it may be at home, it may be at your work, it may be anything that you go through. Right? Durga. So now Universal Mother, she is going to be very benevolent and she will take care of all living beings. Okay? So there is a Devi Suktam in which the last part is saying that I am the wind. I am the air that you breathe in. So even if you want me not to protect you, you cannot stop. Because can you live without breathing? So that is the beauty of Parvati. Okay? We will move to Ayyappa. So every first Saturday of the month, we have a Ayyappa Puja in the temple. And Ayyappa is like a lord who is the son of, can anybody tell, Shiva and?
Parvati.
No.
Is it today? Today we're doing
It's a very unique.
Is it Vishnu?
Yes, Shiva and Vishnu. Vishnu assumes a form of Mohini. Okay? Vishnu assumes a form of Mohini. We'll do a small storytelling here, the story of Ayyappa. So, in Pandalam, right, there is a, near where now Kerala is, in Pandalam, the banks of river Pampa, there is a king called Rajashekara. Okay? He didn't have any kids. So then, in the forest, they found a baby. And then the sage, right, he said, take the baby with you and then 12 years later you will know. So when 12 years later, then after that the king started having kids. But 12 years later, because this baby was so, so powerful, so nice, and he excelled in everything, and he's like, he was the first child, right? So he wanted to make him to the prince. Sit, wait, you hold your questions again. You want to make him into the prince. So then the queen and some other people said, that we cannot make him the prince. We want my child, my biological child, to be the prince. So then the king didn't agree. So what did the queen and the ministers say?
Hi.
They said, the queen feigned an injury. She said, I'm not feeling well. And then the physician said that she has to be given tiger's milk to cure of this illness. And Manikantan is the name of the baby who was found in the forest, right? Manikantan has to go and get the tiger's milk. So then Manikantan volunteered and he went to the forest, and they all, what did they think? That they will be killed, right? Because he's only a 12-year-old. He comes back riding on a tiger with the milk.
Wait, tigers have milk?
Like the mom tigers, right? So the tiger's milk he comes and he gives, right? So now what's happening is, then everybody realizes that he's a supernatural being, right? So now they said, we want to build a temple for you. So he takes his bow and arrow and shoots. 30 kilometers it goes and it lands in a spot. That is exactly where the Sabarimala is right now. So all the stories are important, but what is the key part of Sabarimala? Anybody know? More than the deity, more than the Vigraha, people respect the steps. So why is this important? So throughout the year, we eat whatever we want, we do whatever we want, we don't have any control, right? This mandala, this whole thing is when you go to the mandala, right, this 45 days, you become a brahmachari and you live a celibate life. So you control what you eat, you only have minimal meals. It's a cleansing part of the whole body. This 45 days mandala, right, it will rejuvenate you and re-energize you for the entire year. So then what do? They every day they take shower twice, and after 45 days they go and they take the irumudi and they go on this like a 3-day journey. They walk with barefoot in the forest, right? So whenever you walk on land, what happens? You think your feet hurts and everything, right? But think about this, whenever you're not feeling well, okay? Next time try this, when you're not feeling well and when you're down with a cold or something like that, just go to your backyard in the evening when it's not hot, and just, if you have some grass or some land, just walk on it and then just sit there. You will automatically see that you will start feeling better. When is the baby the best? When it's like a small baby, when it feels most comfortable? When it's with the mother. So who's everyone's mother? Earth, right? So this takes you 3 days through the earth, and then when you go and when you climb the 18 steps, what do? You break in every step. They will do like a coconut previously, but now they are not doing the coconut. But when they go to every step, they break something. What do they break? See, previously there used to be battles where you go and fight. But now what are all the battles? Jealousy, greed, pride. All these inner battles you are facing, you are breaking when you climb the 18 steps. That's the beauty of Ayyappa. Okay? Swami,
especially, he is his Tamil language is very favorite language for him. In addition to Devavesha Sanskrit, okay. Why 6 phases? Shiva is supposed to do 5 jobs. One is creation, then the second is protection, the third is annihilation or recycling. Please don't say destroy. See, the thing is, suppose when we eat, that forms our body, the food, and then it goes out. Like that, when we take vegetables or rice, that is kind of converted to food. Like that, he kind of converts everything. That is the third form of Shiva, that is Rudra. Then the fourth form is, we are part of Shiva, that Parabrahma. But we don't realize that we are part of the Parabrahma, because once we realize we will not do anything, we will be with the deities. Therefore nothing will happen in the world. Therefore he kind of mass, okay. That one you are saying, when you say Nataraja, you are saying he is some Asura, he is called Apasmara Purushan. That means he is the demon of ignorance. Therefore that ignorance, therefore we think we are different from God. That is this one, okay, ignorance. Then final is, hey, we need to see our thing is not heaven. Okay, everybody says hey, going to heaven is the final thing. Other hand, ignorance. For us, going to heaven is not the final thing. We will go to heaven, come back to this bhumi, back and forth. But our final thing we call is moksha. Moksha means freedom. Freedom means, what is freedom? Freedom from birth and death. Therefore, once you get the freedom from birth and death, we will be one with God. That is called the grace, the final grace. Therefore, he says, if you surrender to me, to come to me, I will protect you. That is called blessing. Therefore, he does the 5 jobs. What he is doing, Shakti, the female form, the kinetic energy, without Shakti or without Lakshmi or without Saraswati, nothing can happen. All these gods will be just there because they have the potential, they won't do anything. That's why in our Hindu Dharma, we worship all the females. Okay? Females are equal or even greater than men because it's only the females create life. Therefore, they should be always worshipped. Okay? Females should be worshipped. Please listen, all the male members here, all the boys, you have to respect your mother, you have to respect your sister, and you have to respect all females. Okay? They are not inferior, if not they are superior to us. Okay? Then that Shakti is Umadevi, Parvati. And then he is Parvati as well as Shiva's 5 Hamsas. Therefore, they have got 6. This one. And then it is called the veil. That is the form of Shakti. With that, he will destroy everything. He is also called the Deva Senapati. See, Deva means they are all this one, Devas, deities, then Asuras. He is there to destroy all the Asuras. Now you see, the COVID is a form of Asura. It is giving problems. Therefore, pray to him and he will destroy that COVID, okay? Therefore, please worship him, he is Shanuga, and then he is with the 2 devis. You think, hey, why is marrying 2? One is called Ichha Sakti, another is Kriya Sakti. Ichha Sakti means for doing anything, we need to first desire, right? Intent. Yeah, therefore you want to come to the temple, that is the Ichha. Then Kriya, that is you have to get into the car or you have to ask somebody to
Action.
Therefore, one is Ichha Sakti, another is Kriya Sakti. Therefore, that is in the form. Therefore, pray to him, he will give you whatever you want. Okay? Thank you.
Hey, once again, Mama. Now Mama will do Ashirvachana for all of you. Please pray to Mama, please. Let us listen.
No. Okay, that's in another thing. In the temple, you do namaskar to him. Okay?
Thank you, Mama.
अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं गताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् अनायकैकनायकम्.
Is there in each of your hearts? There is a flame inside the deepest part of your heart, which is Narayana, right? When the flame bursts, you attain like blissfulness and consciousness. So you can attain realization by going and searching outside or going inside. Going inside is equally difficult, but every day, at least 5 minutes, try to just sit calmly without talking. That is the first step for you to go inside. Okay? Just be with yourself. 5 minutes. Calmly sit. You don't even have to think about anything. Believe me, the toughest part is not thinking about anything. Right? So, Narayana. नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्. We move to Narayana's Patni Lakshmi, Sri Mahalakshmi. So Mahalakshmi is the consort of Vishnu and it's like wealth, prosperity, richness, everything, all the. And it doesn't have to be material wealth, right? Mental wealth, mental health, all these good qualities in everybody is Lakshmi. Okay? So you need Lakshmi so that all the Alakshmis in your life are taken out. What are some of the Alakshmis in your life? Illusion, greed, thirst, hunger, poverty, ego. Very good. All these things, Alakshmis will be removed if you meditate upon Lakshmi. Okay? Mahadevyai cha vidmahe Vishnu patne cha dhimahi tanno.
Namaskaram everybody, my name is Rishi Musti and the person you see on the computer is Nilesh Okji. He's a very brilliant researcher who has done over 25 years of research to find out when the Ramayana happened.
You can sit down if you want.
This is his book in which he compiled all of this evidence, and the date on the cover is 12,209 BCE. And this is the day that he came up with. So this book is a very interesting book. If any of you want to read it, it's a very interesting book. It tells exactly how and why the Ramayana date is 12,209 BCE. Moreover, without any form of bias, and also they contain various references from the Valmiki Ramayana itself, which lead up to the date of 12,209 BCE. So this clearly proves that Vedic civilization and Indian civilization was way older than just a couple thousand years than previously thought before. And it stretches all the way back to the Ice Age. And so if the Ramayana happened at least by 12,209 BCE, then Vedic civilization itself must be a lot older. And so whatever you usually read on the internet is not always true. There are a lot of manipulations and mistranslations and a lot of just guessing, and in some cases people don't really care. But Nilesh Okri has actually put together this evidence to this exact date that clearly prove that Vedic civilization is very old, and even during the colonial times and the Mughal times, the Indians have invented various forms of vaccinations, plastic surgery, in fact, during the Gupta times, and many other forms of science as well. Indians were basically experts at this from the early Ice Age to even now. If you look at the various companies across India, or not even across India, say across the world, Google, the CEO of Google is an Indian. A lot of other companies are the head of those companies are Indians. A lot of the brilliant human calculators are Indians. So especially this book, specifically proves how great our Vedic civilization is and how old it is. Now, speaking of how Indians invented many things, I'm going to switch to another short book. So this book is called Shitala. Shitala, How India Enabled Vaccination. So this book was written by Mitra Desai. It's not really it's more like a small book, a short story, and it's also a very good book. It explains how Indians were the first to invent vaccination with various references, even from colonial times, who all refer to Indians as being the original inventors of these vaccinations. Now, this isn't a research book. Unlike the other one, this is not a research book. This one is actually in a more form of a story, like what you might read in Rick Riordan or Harry Potter, for example, Percy Jackson. It's a little bit more of the kind of like that. Yeah, it's the date is set actually during the coronavirus time, and that creates some an argument between grandfather, who is a very wise person like Ganapati, and also his grandson, who is trying to prove his granddaughter, who is trying to prove his grandfather wrong in many ways. And it's not even that big. If you're not into chapter book reading, just know it's not very big. And but even in the index in the back, there are some clear references. They give us 2 references. Even in the book, even in the main plot itself, there are many references that state India is the creator of the smallpox vaccination. So, if you don't know what smallpox is, it's a disease that causes small holes, or not really holes, or should I say like small, bubbles or pustules around the body, and it can be very, it can be very painful. It can cause death. So this book, generally, Edward Jenner was thought to have invented the smallpox vaccination around the 1700s. But a lot of people don't know that.
Namamitam vinayakam natetarati bhikaram navodikakabhaswaram namatsurari nirjaram natadhikapaduddharam natetarati bhikaram navodikakabhaswaram namatsurari nirjaram natadhikapaduddharam sureshwaram nidhishwaram gajeshwaram ganeshwaram maheshwaram samashaye paraparam nirantaram paraparam nirantaram समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं नरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवक्त्रमक्षरं समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं नरेतरोदरं